He took Skittle.
And the thing about it is, if you're familiar with biology, red blood cells are disc-shaped.
Yeah.
So you see how that mimics red blood cells.
That's what I was thinking when I first saw that. I was thinking red blood cells.
Yeah.
I was like, that kind of has that imagery, like red blood cells coming out of it.
And part of the whole thing, it just shows the interconnectedness of everything. And the other thing about the blood is, our blood, no matter what part of the world we come from, it's always red.
Right.
So just by looking at it, there's no difference. We are all more alike than we are different.
Mm-hmm.
And
like, this is your outside. Like, okay, this is what he looks like on the outside. Mm-hmm. This is what he looks like on the inside.
That's what, and the fact that
because you're like, oh, we're not connected, we're separate. Boom. And then the inside comes out, oh, we are connected.
Mm-hmm.
And the blood is spilling out of that Skittles, and yet you see how serene he looks?
Yeah, that's the
I want to
thing.
get my card.
Thank
He does not look like he's in distress.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like he's a kid, and he's like still young, and
he's a 17-year-old kid. He has his whole life ahead of him.
Yeah, he's dreaming. He's like, all right, I want to be something. Life isn't easy, but I'm gonna try anyways.
And somebody else decided.
And look at my face; it's not fully frowned, but it's almost. It could be a smile, just by a centimeter,
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not there yet. I haven't achieved that yet. I'm on a hunt for something.
Absolutely. And if you notice the background, see how cosmic the background is.
Yeah.
He's got the whole universe that he's a part of.
Yeah.
And that he's presumably getting ready to explore and examine and revel in and contribute to.
Yeah, I can't. No one is pure evil, man. Come on, like
no one's pure evil or pure good. Exactly.
Or pure good.
Exactly.
I would. He's probably killed the ant or something, and maybe he's human. Like he probably had a cousin, a little nephew, a niece, a mom, a dad. Like every one of us.
Well, it's so easy for us to think in absolutes, because if you say something is 100% this or that, the other, you don't really have to think about it. You don't have to think that there are strata, there are gradients, there are, that it's not black and white. The thing about gas giant planets versus rocky planets, a gas giant like Neptune or Uranus or Saturn or Jupiter, there's no real surface. It goes from a really tenuous gas to where you would stop, but there's no direct line of demarcation where you go from being a gas to being solid ground. It's such a gradual process that's why they call them gas giants. As opposed to here, you have an atmosphere, and then you have solid rock or the ground. And life is more like a gas giant. There's no clear-cut line between good and evil, or left and right, or up and down, or backwards or forwards. That it's all relative, and it's we are a society of lazy thinkers. And what's interesting to me is we have more information at our fingertips than we have ever had, and we are too lazy just to hit a couple of buttons to access that knowledge. That amazes me.
Yeah. Or even your own knowledge. So they won't even try to access their own
Very
knowledge.
true.
They don't even think. They won't sit back and let me think this. We are even like experience. If you're let's say you're a 20-year-old and you think that person 20 years old, it should be enough to assess the situation, even 30 years old or 40 years old. Now that time you should have more information gathered to assess, so you should think first, like sometimes you don't even have to think too much, but at least think.
There's no such thing as thinking too much.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, non-action, because it would be non-action.
Especially when other people want to limit how you think, or want to direct how you think, or say, well, you shouldn't think in that direction. Well, come on.
Yeah.
And yet, all of the people that we revere in school, Einstein, Isaac Newton, these kind of guys, they thought, I hate to use the phrase, but they thought outside the box. They weren't limited by their contemporaries and whatever. They said, well, what if, and how come, and why not? You know, and it's not really profound. Because that's what little kids do all the time. And then the parents say, no, Tommy, don't go over there. No, Sarah, stay away from that. And, you know.
And then we're told, because, like, you know, the kids are still innocent because they're still saying things that shouldn't be saying.
That's right.
And you're thinking, maybe we're thinking to ourselves, like, wow, kids shouldn't be saying that.
Even though it's true.
It's true. It's true, but there are some things that are limited, you know, like we're limiting ourselves.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Maybe there's thought being put in that direction. So like, but we're trying to break barriers every day, anyways. Anyway.